What's going on, everybody? It's me, Kenny, from DFSXperts.com. I'm going to break down this 12-game slate today. I wanted to apologize for y'all that haven't seen a video since last week. I've been busy. I did put one out yesterday, but rushed to do it, and when I put it out, it was just the title of it was the date and numbers, so it was probably really hard to find, but I'm going to do a better job of doing that. Finding a good time to put these videos out and get everything and get the info out to y'all, as well as taking care of my customers with DFSXperts.com. Get the spreadsheet from there. Go to Facebook. Go to DFS Experts, our room. Get in the chat. That's where the gold is, along with the spreadsheet. You know, we'll be talking even on days where we don't have a spreadsheet, like tomorrow for the 4th of July, and on weekends for baseball. You know, we're still talking. We're still talking strategy, getting things done, and you know, just because the spreadsheet ain't coming doesn't mean we're not working. Also, at baseball, we're going to be lowering the price for our season pass down to $79.99. We've had, you know, it's July. You know, our people that got season pass in the beginning, I know a lot of them have already made their money back and then some. So, you know, now it's time to, you know, the season's shortened up a little bit. Time to get some more of y'all to get in on this. So, like I said, go to DFSXperts.com. Get the spreadsheet, get in the chat. It's a great combination. And, you know, not just me, but we have a lot of people. Rob Shivers, Smooth, a.k.a. Smooth55 on DraftKings and FanDuel. I know you've probably seen him on there. He helps out a ton. Joey from the PGA helps out. Travis Johnston. Bunch of great info, man. And I really appreciate all their help. So make sure you get on in there and see what the hell I'm talking about. But let's just dive into this 12-game slate today. It's not a pretty one. I'll tell you that first and foremost. You don't have a pitcher you can just look in, you know, lock in and say, this guy's going to get me 7 innings, 10 Ks, 1 earned run, maybe 1 or 2. No doubt about it. There's just not, that guy doesn't exist today. Zach Greinke for me is the top pitcher. I don't like Kershaw. I don't trust even against Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh is, you know, pretty awful, but they're not. Kershaw's not the same pitcher. I'm not going to pay that price, especially on DraftKings, $12,000. You're paying for what he did last year and the year before, and that hasn't come yet. Now, I'm sure it's going to come. The day's going to come where he's going to be priced up there and he's going to outperform, and you know, be like, man. But I'm really, actually, I'm not going to be like, man, because, you know, to me, it's safer to, you know, let him prove it to me first. I'm not going to pay that kind of price. Now, if he was, you know, more reasonable, I'd be, you know, willing to take the risk, but he wouldn't be Kershaw then. So, like I said, Greinke, Bieber for Cleveland, I like that matchup as well. Zach Eflin for Philadelphia. Newcomb is somebody that I'm going to be nervous about playing just because, you know, obviously the right-handers for the Yankees are going to be, you know, they're always danger. I mean, you know, Andujar, Torres, I haven't even mentioned Stanton, Judge, you know, Hicks, all those guys. You know, any point in time can, you know, take them deep and, you know, turn a good outing into a really shitty one very quickly. So I may have a little exposure to him, but not a whole lot. Somebody I really like is Marcos Estrada for Toronto. As far as value goes, Richard, San Diego, 6,800, 7,400 for Estrada. You got to pay a little more on FanDuel for both of them. Richard, you got to pay 8,700. That's ridiculous. Kind of like it was yesterday with Eovaldi, just reverse. Eovaldi was 6,300 on FanDuel and 8,700 on DraftKings. He was a FanDuel play, but not a DraftKings play. Here it's the other way around. He's a DraftKings. Richard's a DraftKings play, not a FanDuel play. So that would be more of a like pairing with Bieber, and then you go Richard or Estrada. You don't have to go, you know, bottom of the barrel. There's no need for it. If you did want to go down, I do. Just like Bibbins Dirks from last week, the first video I did, I mentioned him a little bit, and he threw 6 shutout innings. Against Houston today, I would highly doubt that happens, but at 4,400 on DraftKings, unless he just gets completely blown up, it's just a punt play anyway. You get what you pay for. So that's just an alternative, an alternate route to go. With hitting today, it's sort of the same thing with yesterday. I know y'all didn't see, a lot of y'all probably didn't see my video, but it was a lot of Cincinnati, a lot of Cleveland. I mentioned the Dodgers in passing, and they put up 17 runs. I'm overall pretty usually skeptical to play the Dodgers, even when it seems like it's a good fit. Dave Roberts is not a fan of DFS. You can tell by the way he'll just randomly swap out somebody, pinch hit, and completely fuck up a lineup. That's just so I usually, even though I like Muncy and I like Bellinger, those are usually the only Dodgers that I'll mess with, and both of them did extremely well yesterday. Both of them went deep. So, but I digress, man. I didn't play much of them, but should have. But Cleveland, Cincinnati, I did. Cleveland did well. Cincinnati did not do well. Cleveland, you've got Danny Duffy on the mound, so I mean that tells you about all you need to know. Encarnacion is he's in play. He smashes lefties. And Coors wasn't in play yesterday. I mentioned that in the video, and I mentioned that in the chat. With the combination of Bumgarner not being Bumgarner being a pretty good pitcher, and then combined with that, Freeland was all right. I actually like the San Francisco side more than I liked the Rockies side, but neither one of them was very good at all. It was 5-2, I believe. So that was a good move to fade that game. McCutchen let me down. I did like him. But anyway, today, Coors is definitely in play. Senzatala and Stratton, both of them should get lit up. Cue up the lefties there. Bell, Crawford, Blackman, Parra, Cargo. It's today's the day. I mean, if you're going to load up on Coors, go ahead and load up on it. Hitting otherwise, I mean, you could go with some Houston against Bibbins Dirks. That's the next game down as far as Vegas. Cincy and the White Sox. We just mentioned Cincy. Let me get a little bit of this Mountain Dew. The pinky was for Joey right there, because you got to do dignified when you drink. But anyway, Cincy we were mentioning. That game, Giolito is supposed to get lit up. It's just a matter of whether Cincy does what they're supposed to. And I mean, it's the usual suspects. It's Scooter, it's Votto, Jesse Winker, Billy Hamilton. I wish was batting anywhere other than ninth. I just don't really like rostering somebody unless it's a punt that could potentially get you only 3 at bats. That's just not somebody just in general, I mean, basic DFS strategy. You want to get somebody with that'll get you as many bats as possible. But Cincinnati, the White Sox, if you're looking for an alternative game to stack, both, I'm not even going to try saying his last, that Cincinnati pitcher, I'll go ahead and try to say it just to be entertained. Desclafani. Yeah, Desclafani. There you go. That's probably way off, and I apologize for butchering the shit out of your name. But he's pitched decently, and I mean the White Sox are traditionally don't hit the righties very well. So there's that with that side. So I would look more at Cincy. There is some risk there, but, you're going to have to take some risk unless you're just going with Coors bats today. And if you're going with Coors bats, that means you're not spending much with pitching. So, something's got to give there. I mentioned Kershaw a little bit. If you're looking for hitters to to go up against them, I'm not advocating an all-out stack, but David Freese, Josh Harrison, that would probably be, or Starling Marte even, that would be where I would start. Again, I'm not advocating it, just an all and out stack. Freeze is just very cheap. Harrison's what, 2,700 on FanDuel. It'll open up some other avenues for you, like cores and that sort of thing, if you're looking to go that route. Maybe just one or two of them. I'm just not into Kershaw, man. He'll just have to prove me wrong, and if he does, he does. Philadelphia against Alex Cobb. That's another. I'm anticipating. I mean, that game should be hot. It's hot as shit, on the East Coast. So not just the fact that it's Alex Cobb, but Philly's been hitting the ball pretty well. You go Hernandez, Santana, Hoskins, even Herrera's been hitting well. You can, like, just the top of that order I really like against Alex Cobb, who's been pretty terrible. Let me see if there's anything else I feel I need to touch on. With big slates, it can feel overwhelming. Even for it doesn't feel overwhelming for me, because what I'm about to tell you is that on big slates, you just focus on the avenue that you want to go down. It's early. It's by the time you see this video, it'll probably be like 11:30. But you have to, you just have to go with a certain avenue and go with it. You're not going to have exposure to every one of these games. That's just impossible. So when you approach these slates, you go with the stacks that you like, go with the pitching that you like, and run with it. If you're going to go, say if you're going to basically punt pitching, and just maybe for DraftKings, your most expensive pitcher is going to be Marcos Estrada. That means you're going to stack Colorado, you're going to stack some Cincy, you're going to stack some Cleveland. There's really no sense in doing something otherwise there. If you're going to stack pitching, I mean, and go with some Philadelphia too. What I mean is just go with the stacks that you are comfortable with, and don't try to get cute with a value here or there. You're going value with your pitching, and you're going to live and die by that. So you might as well pay up for the big bats. If you go that route. Now, if you pay up for pitching, I'll give you a couple of value bats to take a look at. Chris Davis for Baltimore, 2,400 on FanDuel, 3,000 on DraftKings. Starting to warm up a little bit. Definitely some risk there, but if you're wanting to get some, Baltimore against Eflin, just because you think the weather's going to be conducive to some hitting, I would use Davis, and then somebody else I'd look at if he starts is Tim Beckham, 3,000 on DraftKings, 2,100 on FanDuel. Probably will be hitting if he plays, unless Valencia plays, which I doubt he will. Excuse me, probably about that. I think he could lead off, but I mean he was batting either first or fifth, or he's going to get some at bats. So if you're looking for value, look that direction. Also like Rojas for Miami. Let me get a little bit more Mountain Dew in for this final stretch. Yeah, Rojas for Miami's been hitting the ball really well. Miami righties could be, I wouldn't just sell out on it, but if you're, say, looking to get a lot of San Francisco, or you're looking to get a lot of Cleveland, or whatever cores or whatever you're trying to do, go with some Miami like Rojas, maybe some Lewis Brinson. Not gonna, don't stake your whole line in that. Don't stake everything in that. But if you're looking to open up some avenues, that's a good way to go. So, cheap end Miami, cheap end Baltimore. Philadelphia, Nick Williams. Aside from, Herrera and Hoskins and all those guys are expensive, but Nick Williams, Rajai Davis for Cleveland, a righty against a lefty. Excuse me. 3,200 on DraftKings. I believe he is dirt cheap on FanDuel too. I think he's 2,100. Let me just make sure. 2,200. So, yeah, definitely check him out. Brinson, like I said, 2,100. Brandon Guyer for Cleveland, 2,100. Jared Dyson, if you want to take a risk with him. He hit pretty good yesterday. If you want to think maybe he's heating up, 2,400 for him. I mentioned David Freese earlier. Joey Wendell for Tampa Bay. Always somebody that's, Joey Wendell's sort of becoming my Jed Lowry from last year. Jed Lowry was always somebody that was, on FanDuel, say, 2,200 to 2,600, 2,700. Get you a few hits, get you an RBI or two, maybe get you a double, maybe even get you a homer. But he'll get you something on most nights. Joey Wendell's becoming that dude for me, and I'll probably have some exposure to him. So, along with whatever big bats you're looking at, there's some value for you. I've gone this whole time, haven't mentioned Mike Trout against a lefty. You might want to have some exposure there too. Him and Nelson Cruz and Kyle Davis for Oakland smash lefties. So let me wrap this up because I know I've been doing this for a while and we're getting about to that 20-minute mark I like to stay under. I'll just give you some final thoughts for today. Don't let big slates overwhelm you. Like I mentioned, feel confident in the avenue you're going down and go down that avenue, and don't let anything deter you. Don't start tinkering with your lineups. If you tinker with your lineup, you're going to end up tinkering yourself out of a GPP, big GPP cash. Most nights. I did it to myself yesterday. I took out Lindor in favor of Robertson to fit in some more bats, and that cost me big fucking time. It's just one of those things. You gotta learn to trust your gut. Trust your gut and the spreadsheet. That's why I say in the notes is trust your gut and the spreadsheet. No tinkering. You got this, and that's how it is. You guys got this. Feel confident in what you got going on, and just don't talk yourself out of a winning lineup. Just do your thing, man. And I will trying to think if there's anything else I need to do. I know one thing I'm going to do as I'm talking through this. Eventually, I'm going to start doing these live because it's a lot easier for me to, if y'all have questions and stuff, it's a lot easier for me to answer those and to be able to interact with you guys. Just me talking on my own, it's a bit of a different. It's way different than what I'm used to doing. I'm usually on the Facebook chat. It's usually a live chat where, people are commenting and that sort of thing. So that's something I'll probably look to start doing here after a few videos. That's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. Go to DFSXperts.com, get the spreadsheet. We should have the prices lowered today. For the season pass, $79.99. It's a great deal. NASCAR and PGA spreadsheet together, $150. A full year of PGA. 52 weeks. So, minus a couple weeks that it doesn't run, and maybe 1 or 2 weeks that we take that week off, and we'll let you know about that ahead of time, obviously. But it's definitely something. We're moving up, and I want y'all to move up with us. So get the spreadsheet, get in the chat, and come make some money with us, y'all. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. And I will not see you tomorrow, but I look forward to seeing y'all on Thursday. Y'all have a good day, and peace.